everyone, I'm Mary Frankland and I'm the founder of Dean Farm Animal Sanctuary, and I'm absolutely delighted today to have been invited by the Animal Justice Project to celebrate World Vegan Day at our sanctuary. We're going to talk a little bit about some of our residents today and show you around our sanctuary, and also talk about our beautiful hens here in Hen Haven. But first of all, I thought it would be nice to explain why I set the sanctuary up and what we hope to achieve by setting the sanctuary up. And it was back in 2004, and I wasn't vegan back in those days, and I did research into how animals are used and how animals are exploited, and I absolutely could not believe how animals were treated in factory farms, in vivisection, how they're used in entertainment, how they're used for pets and breeding. And it completely turned my life around, and I felt I needed to do something, and I virtually immediately turned vegan and felt that if it had this impact on me and other people's eyes were open to the absolute atrocities of what was happening to millions and millions of animals across the world, then they too would want to promote compassionate living and stop animal abuse. So I thought, I'm going to set up a sanctuary, and with that in mind I spent many years researching and fundraising, and eventually in 2007 set up Dean Farm Animal Sanctuary, and 2016 we started rescuing our first animals. How we work at Dean Farm Sanctuary is that every animal is treated very much as an individual. They're not hens and cows and sheep and pigs. They're all collectively individual species or individual animals, all with different needs and different wants, and are treated as such. And to do this takes an awful lot of space, a lot of time, and a lot of money. And so our sanctuary is a holistic and tranquil home for life to over 180 animals across 62 acres of land. So the Animal Justice Project are doing amazing work with this current campaign, exposing the atrocities that happen within the factory farming of ducks and broiler hens, which are raised for meat. And I think the campaign, The Foul Truth, they're doing an incredible exposure. Here at Dean Farm Sanctuary, my son Colin Pierre, our one cockerel, and his 45 ladies, we're going to talk a little bit about our beautiful hens here in Hen Haven. And these girls are egg-laying hens. So rather than being raised for meat, they are raised to produce as many eggs as possible for us to eat. And these hens come from barns, windowless barns, hundreds of thousands of them, tightly packed in, for approximately 1 year of their life. In that time they produce nearly 300 eggs, and then they are sent off to slaughter. They have been genetically bred to produce as many eggs as possible in such a short space of time, and therefore once the egg production starts to reduce from approximately 300 eggs to maybe 299, when they are farmed on such a massive, steady girls, steady, when they're farmed on such a massive scale, obviously the farmer then chooses for commercial reasons to send them off to slaughter, and then the new girls are brought into the farms. They have no real enrichment, they have no sunlight, no sunlight, no day, no night, no grass, no wind, no rain, no nest boxes to lay their eggs in. When they come out of these farms, most of them are featherless because they're so closely packed in with their friends. They have sores on them. Their bodies are completely depleted of calcium and protein because all of that is going into the egg production. And then they go off to the slaughterhouse, with only a few saved by various charities and organisations. So, as you can see, these hens are scratching around. They have all of this area at Dean Farm Sanctuary, about an acre of land, where they can forage and run around. But equally, I'm just here by one of our 3 houses. If you look in here, these are their little nest boxes, because you go in a house the other side. Oh look, we have an egg here. So they lay nests, and they can go in here and quietly have their little eggs. Whereas in a factory farm or in the enriched cages, they are on metal for their entire lives. They have to eat, sleep, and lay their eggs on metal for their lives. So here they can lay eggs in their nest boxes. They can scratch around on the grass. They can socialise and vocalise. They take themselves off to bed when it gets dark, something that they could never do in the factory farm, because the lights are left on virtually 24 hours a day to ensure that egg production is at a maximum. So if we come over here, we can see one of our little houses. What they tend to do is come into these houses, and they're full of dust, and they dust bathe in them. And dust bathing is a very natural behaviour, and it keeps all their feathers clean. It's like us as humans have baths and showers. Pigs wallow in mud. Well, chickens have dust baths, and you can actually see some little circles here where they've been dust bathing, and they cover their whole bodies in dust, and it helps to get the parasites and the mites off and gives them a good old clean. Again, this is something they could never ever do within the factory farm that they've come from. And what is actually fascinating is, within hours of them coming and being released and saved, hello lovely, they start using these natural behaviours, which is just incredible. And here they can go up the stairs, if you just come around here, into their lovely bedroom. And at the back of this house, we've got egg boxes as well. So they have 3 houses here. So there's plenty of space. So they're not cramped in, and they don't fight, and they're not fighting for food or space to lay their little eggs and have nests. At Dean Farm, it is really, really important for us to give enough space to all of our residents so they can display all their natural behaviours, have enough enrichment, have enough nourishment, have enough space to pick their right companions, enough space to feel free. It is really, really important for us at Dean Farm Sanctuary to ensure that our animals feel free and do not feel caged or penned in, whether that's the ponies, the donkeys, the sheep, the cows, the goats, the chickens, the pigs. All of our animals are collectively our family, and all of them roam around the sanctuary, and even if you leave gates open, no one wants to try and run away or escape, because they feel very, very safe here, and it's their home for life. So I'd like to talk a little bit about one of our hens who has a special place in my heart, and that is Tufty. Tufty came to us from one of the big rescues when we rescued 66 hens from a facility that was closing down. Her body was so broken, and she hardly had any feathers. She was absolutely exhausted, and we really didn't think she was going to make it. Many of these hens, when they come out of these facilities, their bones break because they're calcium deficient. They have prolapses because their little bodies have been pumping eggs out for the last year. They have no feathers. They have protein deficiency. They contract peritonitis and a whole host of other issues that they can contract within the first few weeks and first months. So we were very, very concerned about Tufty. So Tufty came to us from an enriched cage. She was rescued with 66 other hens. And as you saw from her picture, she was in an absolutely deplorable state when she first arrived. She had hardly any feathers. She was very, very weak, and she did need a lot of extra special care. But as you can see now, with love, with care, and with support, she has grown into this beautiful, beautiful hen. Look at her beautiful feathers. Her comb is nice and red. She's very strong. Good girl, good girl, good girl. And it's just a picture of health, really, how any hen should be and how any hen deserves to live. They do not deserve to be treated as units and commodities and animals just to produce eggs for people to eat. It is just, these are living animals just like us, who want to live, who want to have friends and companionship and to free roam and treat any animal, as you saw, Tufty's feathers, Tufty's body broken, completely exhausted. And Tufty was only 18 months old. That's all they are. They're literally babies when they come out of these horror houses. They're only 18 months old, and only a handful get saved. So all of our hens here in Hen Haven have been with us well over a year, and as you can see, they've got beautiful, beautiful feathers. But we also showed you how they come when they first come out of the factory farms. In the first few weeks, as I've said before, they don't know between night and day. So in these houses, we have to come and put them to bed at night and bring them back out in the morning, because they just don't recognise it when it gets dark. Also, in the first week or two, because they're not used to using their legs, you will see them holding their legs up. So they're obviously their natural instincts are being stimulated around them, so they want to scratch and forage and just like this little girl did then. And of course, they're not used to using any muscles. They have absolutely no muscle because they've been sitting on wire mesh in feces for the last year of their lives. So for the first few weeks, their legs are really, really sore. And they want to keep scratching, but they have to keep stopping, and they just hold their legs up. And it's lovely to see them getting stronger and stronger, and then their feathers coming back over time. And to give them that, to have the support from our supporters, it's amazing that we have this wonderful support that allows us to rescue, rehabilitate, and give a home for life to animals which for I suppose the farmers is just a unit and a commodity, and to us, and as you can see, all individuals, all have a hierarchy and social standing within this area, and just enjoying life and being hens. So I would like to say thank you so much to the Animal Justice Project for inviting us to share our hens on World Vegan Day. As a registered charity, we have no public funding. We rely completely on donations from the public and support from the public. So thank you very much to the Animal Justice Project for inviting us, and thank you to everyone who supports us. We do have an ongoing appeal called the Help Our Hen Appeal, which helps pay for food and care for our lovely girls in Hen Haven, and obviously Colin Pierre, who you heard earlier. And please do come and visit us. Yes, please do come and visit us and see all our beautiful residents, especially our girls here and Colin Pierre in Hen Haven. Thank you.